Hey, what's going on? It's Wednesday and I'm running solo today. David seems to have lots to rant about in regards to Wi Fi and connectivity, but you know what? He deserves a day off as he covers many of these broadcasts when I'm not available. And you know what? It's gives me no greater pleasure than to talk about wokeism yet again. Should we end the handouts to these woke companies? Woke companies like Disney, MLB, Nike, you know, these companies have had special privileges given to them by our government over the decades. And I guess the most famous that we know of is Disney. Most recently, Governor DeSantis stripped Disney of its status as being a special county in the state of Florida with special privileges, and put it on the same playing field as Universal, which is NBC Universal, aka Comcast. And people didn't understand why DeSantis did this. And a lot of people started arguing it's not fair to remove the status of Disney. But when you understand that it was an unfair competitive advantage that Walt Disney had over its competitor, Universal Studios, and it gets a little deeper. If you want to get in the business of politics, and you're a company, it may not be the best decision in the interests of your shareholders. Remember, Disney isn't a private company, it represents the shareholders of the company. And clearly, the company wasn't all in agreement. And I believe the CEO should step down. But our broadcast isn't about Disney and stepping down CEOs, because I would call for the MLB. I would call for their incident last year in the World Series, trying to give influence into the election. Disney, just a flashback, trying to get involved into the quote anti-gay bill that doesn't exist, right? And we can talk about Coca Cola, Amex, Nike, or Adidas. All of them equally getting embroiled into political statements. Now, a lot of the shareholders don't even pay attention. They look at their dividend check, they look at how their stock portfolios produce. But in an economy that's blowing up, I guess more investors are starting to look. And I guess as you, the independent, start seeing what these companies are actually doing, you're getting more annoyed. There is a parallel between talking about wokeism and communism. In fact, I believe they are interchangeable in words. The communists have tried to infiltrate the American ism, the greatness that Western civilization has come to know. And yes, that includes Canada and it includes Mexico. But United States is the beacon, the light in the world that everyone turns to when shit goes sideways. And communism needs to destroy the United States of America for it to succeed and grow. Why do I say that? Russia got destroyed in the 80s by Reagan. Not so much. We now see what communism does. We look at Mr. Putin, who decided to walk into a country in 2014 because Obama didn't want to follow a red line. And Biden, well, he was his partner in 2014 and is an invertebrate, right? He wants to now send billions of dollars to the fight for Ukraine, but doesn't want to seal or close or even have a legal closure of our American southern border. There are problems, guys. These are all communist problems. Why? Because the more chaos that's caused, the more communism grows, the more wokeism grows. The concept of free education. Listen, guys, it's not here. Even in Canada, you don't have a free education, and you have the closest thing to a free education, and you have the price of gas that's double that it is in the United States, the price of alcohol that's 50% more, right? The 60% of your income goes to pay taxes. Oh, but you got health care. It sucks, right? My thing is to talk about the education of America and the world to what these wokeism policies are, how these corporations that are being funded by governments that are so woke and broke that we need to pull back the reins. Senator Hawley, actually has a lot of good points. We need to teach these companies to stay out of politics because politics isn't for the company. It's for the individuals, the people that have the legal right to vote. Those are called citizens. And you know what? If you live in Canada, you live in Mexico, you're a citizen. If I tried to get into your country, you'd throw me out. Well, maybe not Canada, but Mexico for sure. And if you as a Canadian tried to enter Mexico without papers, they'd throw you out or put you in a Mexican jail. So the United States needs to honor its laws. And we need to teach companies that if we don't honor the law, there is no law. So why am I supporting you? Disney has a copyright protection that you cannot get 120 years. Disgusting, deplorable. Why are they special? Why do they deserve special status? These are the types of things that you, the American people, or the world doesn't really understand. So I agree with Senator Hawley. We need to remove these special privileges that these companies have used to profit and teach them that when you're given a special privilege to operate in a special way, don't get involved in politics unless the world supports you. The world clearly doesn't, because now you've lost your special status in Florida Disney, and more than likely will lose your special privilege in the Patent and Trademark Office. Because I know that there are lots of Democrat and Republican and independent people that have applied for trademarks and patents that have expired after 28 years, 56 years, and don't have 120-year protection. Amazing, isn't it? The guy that invents something that's Joe Q, lives in Wichita, Kansas, doesn't have the right to his invention or his design patent that we gave Disney. But Disney wanted to make up a term called a gay bill, an anti-gay bill. Even the terminology is toxic. But again, wokeism is based off creating toxicity, divisiveness. And if the corporations want to continue this toxicity and create more divisiveness, then we need to rethink how we allocate our money. Do we need to support a Google? Do we need to support a Microsoft? How about an Apple? These companies no longer need any government assistance whatsoever to fill the shareholders' pockets more. How about the 20 to 50 to $100 million compensation packages of these executives? The Democrats say, let's tax the rich. I say, let's not give money to companies that aren't American companies. Why are we supporting and exporting our dollars? Why are we providing free internet to the rest of the world when we don't have free internet in our world? There are many places in Canada, and David knows them very well, even in just the outskirts of Montreal, that has horrible internet, horrible Wi-Fi. Yet we want to provide internet to continents that have barely any population. It doesn't make much sense, guys. So you know what? I need you to rethink about what is wokeism. Are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? Or do you just hate Donald Trump? Again, wokeism needs to promote your anti-Trumpism. But most Republicans just don't want wokeism. They really don't care who the leader is because you know what? There is Congress and the Senate. There are two branches of government with a third called the Supreme Court that oversees us all. But wokeism struck against the only house that was immune to any political party, and that's called the Supreme Court. And you know what? We're not talking about the Supreme Court today, but I want you to understand that that is the last blow of integrity to all branches of the American government. And I hope that you at home understand that I'm pleading with you to not listen to your commentary on your local news network, but read the facts around what you're hearing the editorial about. Understand when they call something an anti-gay bill, that's 11 pages that you could read while you're passing time in a commercial break, and understand the word gay or anti-gay or anti-LGBTQ isn't even there. And understand that most wokeism is a false narrative. They make claims and accusations that don't exist. They destroy people off. He could have been a womanizer, but he wasn't. They destroy people that don't agree with them. And you know what? Now you got even Elon Musk, the guy that started the evolution of the electronic car, the migration off of fossil fuels, and he is now officially stating he will vote Republican. So when the guy that creates the left movement says, I can't vote for this progressive insanity, should you think twice? Think about the company that you support. Do you buy Nike, or maybe do you think you buy another brand? Do you think maybe you skip Disney this year and maybe go to NBC Universal Studios, or maybe you go see the Grand Canyon? Guys, if you don't take control, control will be taken from you. We're slowly giving up our rights. Remember, communism was the key element that McCarthyism was to fight. Extreme left, extreme right. McCarthy had it right. He really did. He was just too much to the right to get across to the world that if we don't protect our laws and our rights and our freedoms, they will be taken away and swallowed up. And the Communist Party, today operating under the wokeism party or the progressive part of the Democratic Party, we will lose the largest, best country on the planet that's been a beacon of light to every country that's been in need. Yes, even you, Canada, United States stands as your best partner and your best ally. The same goes for Mexico. The same goes to the NATO alliance. Guys, your friends are your neighbors. But as long as your neighbors aren't Vladimir Putin, you'll be doing a little bit better. But you don't want Vladimir Putin to have an office in your backyard, in your company, and telling your kids what to do. Guys, as normal, little off topic, go on a little bit of a rant. But at the end of the day, guys, my heart goes out to you. I hope you all stay safe. I hope all those lives that were lost in Buffalo, Texas, LA, Chicago, New York, come to grips that wokeism, anti-police, anti-government will only be the demise of your freedoms. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Friday, hopefully David will make it back on the silver screen with me and save you from another boring rant.